Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Artist Spotlight Show, being brought to you by Music Dreams USA Radio Worldwide, Biker Bay Barber and Company, and Table and Mike Productions up in Asheville, North Carolina. We've been interviewing some amazing people. Let's just keep it going. Here is Joe Magnetico. He is an amazing music professional in the music industry. He's from Myrtle Beach, and we're going to step aside here, and we're bringing my co-host. She is the one, the only. Here is Karen with Biker Bay Barber and Company. Take it over, partner.
Hey guys, thank you for coming and joining us today. We have Joe with us, and Joe is a new part of my team. We've just started working together, and we are going to really rock up Myrtle Beach and hopefully some other cities and states here soon. He has a band called Hit Squad, and he's got a new artist in it. I want to start off with him telling a little bit about that, and then we'll go into some other questions after you tell us about your band, Hit Squad.
Well, the Hit Squad is a band of former touring professional musicians. They've toured around with some of the better oldies groups. They were with the Duprees. They were with Van Morrison. So these are pros, and they've all emigrated, I guess, if you say, into Myrtle Beach area, and they are backing up a woman who was a semi-finalist on The Voice, and her name is Julia Skiba, and Julia is originally from Europe, where when you perform on a talent show like that, you get a lot of exposure, but it didn't pan out into a record contract, and then she moved with her partner to Myrtle Beach. And I was retired from my personal business in the entertainment industry, but I saw in her something that I think needs to be shared with the world, her talent. And that is why I'm back in the business. It just brought me back in.
The business.
It's the business.
So
Yeah.
where are you
Just when
originally?
I thought I was out.
Once it's in your vein,
me
you never
back in.
Once it's in your blood, it never comes out.
No, it doesn't.
Where are you originally from?
Well, I think your audience would tell from my accent that I'm born, raised New York City.
Woo!
And then I moved out to Long Island, and I because my family had a business of its own, barber business.
That was my next questions to you.
Yeah. So my dad was in a horrific car accident. I was doing a little bit of this show business thing, but I also worked in retail. I ran a couple of department stores, and when he got hurt, I had to step in and learn how to be a barber first, and then I built a clientele. But little did I know that would be the segue to my entertainment company. I met so many people that I actually cut their hair. One of my clients became my mentor, and if your audience is pretty savvy, and I'm probably on the younger side, he is now a partner with Bob Sillerman of FX Entertainment. They produce Tomorrow World, which is a huge music festival, 3 days. People buy tickets a year in advance to have it, and no comps. So if you're a Kardashian, you pay. Well, somebody pays for them, I'm sure. But I learned a lot. From the beginning, I learned how to negotiate with artists, and then where to go, how to do business with those venues. I've worked on Andrea Bocelli at Shea Stadium, Frankie Valli, and I became friends with Frankie in the Four Seasons, Madison Square Garden. These are the things, as a younger man, I played with my idols, my favorite group, the Beach Boys. I represented them on gigs. People come, I always tell them, you're FOS. You know what FOS means, right?
Mhm.
So we won't say it on the air. and I just show them pictures. I mean, I got pictures with everybody. Not that you can't take a picture with a guy, but at the end of the day, then I say, here's the contact on my phone. I can call him on the phone. Trust me, I know this guy. You know, but I learned a lot. I worked with guys. You know, there's a saying, I mentioned it before to your previous guest. It's not, when you're in conversation with people, listen. You can learn a lot by listening. And as a person yourself, and you're teaching potentially people, you teach them everything that they want to learn. Don't teach them everything you know.
Absolutely.
I love that. Absolutely love that.
Because you teach them everything you know, they don't need you anymore.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you know, I'm personally a person that people say, "Yo, you must have a lot of friends." No, I have. Mr. Trump, the president, will tell you he doesn't have a lot of friends. He's got a lot of acquaintances.
Right.
Friends are a thing that requires a give and a take, not just a take. I'm sure you've all had people that took from you, just takers. Sometimes they may have started out by giving you a little something, you know, in relationships, and then they're like a succubus. They just suck you dry. You know, like when people ask me, you have a lot of friends, I say, I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean they're all friends.
Right.
They're not, you know, they didn't come to my house. I didn't buy them dinner or, no, they're some business acquaintances, business friends, you know. She's become a business acquaintance to friend, but she didn't invite me over and cook pasta for me or anything.
Honey, you'll probably never
now
get
you're
that.
making me hungry.
I don't cook at all.
No, yeah.
I'll take you out to
You
dinner
know how to
though.
make reservations.
I know how to make
How do you make
reservations.
reservations?
Everybody that knows Karen knows she doesn't cook. It's not that I can't. It's just I don't want to attempt that.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Now I can make some good spaghetti sauce though.
Yeah, so that's
My
a
mama
talent.
Capitano, she gave me the secret recipe for
Yeah.
Italian, delicious Italian. She
Yeah.
always gets me about my hands.
Yeah,
See, I'm Italian, so I use my
Talk
hands.
with
I love it. He's a hand talker. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
no,
Like,
no, that's why you see I'm holding my hands down. And
that's what I do too. I just told him
Yeah,
earlier.
just
Hold your
hold
hands.
on to them.
Question
Well-
for you, Joe.
Yeah.
You've obviously had an amazing career in the music industry, right? Let's take a trip down memory lane.
Mhm.
All right. Can you maybe share maybe one or two memories that you know that you even think about today that you'll never forget? Which ones are they, and why are they such a memory?
As a single entity, not when I worked with, you know, like Elvis Presley. See, I didn't get Elvis to show up and whatever, but I was in his presence for one gig, and in my hometown on Long Island, and I you know, passed me, but it wasn't like we worked together. I was on a crew that was doing his one and only show he ever did on Long Island. He was an idol for me. I grew up. I'm born '53, so that makes me in the '70s a teenager, and I grew up. He has the comeback special. I'm 15 years old. I didn't know much about the Elvis before that. I knew there was an Elvis, but that black leather suit and the jet black hair and doing the rock and roll songs. And I go, wow, that's something. And I was a fan. And then I started accumulating. I was a huge record collector. My record collection at one time was over 6,000 LPs.
Wow.
And then I had 10,000 CDs. Now I have them in an attic, and I got a flash drive for a couple of things, but that's it. I listen to satellite radio. Okay. So, but for me personally, my partner at the time, a female partner, I don't want to say sex partner, people don't believe that.
It's too late now, Joe.
She said, I'll pay attention to what you do when it's a big thing. So a friend of mine owns one of the top cabaret nightclubs in New York called The
those.
Cutting Room.
Mhm.
Now, Steve Walters is the owner there, and he had always promoted the fact that he wanted entertainers, you know, musicians to come in, and break new artists or whatever. And through my barbering, I met a lot of entertainers and people in the business. So I used them as a conduit to, hey, could you help me out with this? Oh, you know this guy? Can you put me together with him? And they all, because I was their barber, was like, sure, we'll make a phone call, no big deal. So I wind up with a guy that actually wrote a book. He was a sound engineer. He was Phil Ramone's assistant.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Phil Ramone worked with Billy Joel and all kinds of high-end people. So he had written a book, and each chapter was about a different artist. So the one chapter, The Night I Didn't Sleep with Bette Midler,
Okay.
which he did. She wanted to, but he was a younger guy. Anyhow, his name is Glenn Berger. He's actually a psychotherapist by trade.
Oh, wow.
But he wrote this book of his days at this famous recording studio. So he wanted to do something. This'll remember this, your audience, because it's tangent to where we're going. Wanted to do a benefit for musicians, because many musicians, when their career is over, they ain't got no money. They're broke. They worked, but they weren't in the union at the time, or especially the older musicians. There was no union for them.
Mhm.
I mean, all these doo-wop guys that the record labels stole their money, and they got no redress for that. I said, I'll take care of it. I call up Steve Walter. Again, connections. It's always about connections. Steve, I want to do a show. What kind of a show? A benefit. For who? I want to do a benefit for musicians. First thing, I'm in. Who? I said, now, let me tell you who I need help with. I need you to connect me with. First up, I got to put a band there. He says, okay, who are you thinking? I said, Paul Schaefer and the World's Dangerous Band. He says, all right, I'll call Paul. Paul Schaefer, right away, says, I'll conduct the band. Great. Now I have all top-notch players. Will Lee, bass player. Tommy Bones Malone. These are guys that were part of the wrecking crew of their own,
Right.
the rock and roll wrecking crew. 12 musicians on stage. The stage now is, well, we had a hard time getting everybody on stage. Then I have the Blues Brothers band, the whole Blues Brothers band.
Were the cops there?
No cops, thank God. It could have been. I mean, if people have certain things with them. So, and now I need backup musicians. Not musicians, singers. I had all the studio singers. They all wanted to come. Everybody's supporting their fraternity or sorority of these artists to make money. We charged everybody to come in. Nobody got in on a comp. We had an audience of luminaries, Russ Titleman, famous executive record producer, John Lennon's girlfriend who hangs out there all the time, May Pang. These people all knew each other through the business. And then we performed. And actually, you could actually get some of the Paul Schaefer's performances on YouTube.
Wow.
So it can be done, and your audience can look it up. Cutting Room, and it's fantastic what you can hear. They do Spencer Davis's "Gimme Gimme Good Lovin'" and whatever. But then we had guest singers. Now, when I tell you the singers, so Ashford and Simpson, Valerie Simpson is there. We had I'm going to say another guy that I know was Tommy D'Angelo, who was a local cabaret guy. But when you're doing something from your heart for charity, people come out, and that was my biggest show. 500 people in a place that only holds 250. They were packed out to the street, standing. Fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic. I mean, I've been involved with bigger shows, but that was my show. I put it together. So that is my best memory of that.
Got a question for you before I turn back over.
Sure.
About a week ago, you posted something on Facebook about a post out to Myrtle Beach that you're going to change the scenery to how it is now to where it's going to be. I'm sure you remember that post.
Yeah.
And so, talk to our audience about that. I mean, that really caught my attention. That here, you have so much experience. You have such a magical musical career, obviously, and so maybe talk to our audience a little bit more about that. But what is your vision about that?
Okay. I think, well, Myrtle Beach is a tourist town, first and foremost.
Right.
When if you take out the demographic of the tourists, the next thing is it's a retirement town. It's like an old folks home in a certain way. Well, but it started out as a real beachy, lower income area.
Mhm.
But now you have from Pawleys Island and up to North Myrtle Beach by what is it, Grand Dunes. You got multi-million-dollar homes. There's money in Myrtle Beach, and you have now a huge influx of Northeasterners coming to Myrtle Beach.
Mhm.
They sold their house for $750,000 or $1 million. Buy a house down here, smaller, because they don't need a big house. The kids are gone, and for $300,000, they got a brand new house with brand new appliances and brand new everything.
And you got thunder too.
Yeah, and they got the golf, because this was and still remains, even though it has shrunk to a degree, but is the golf capital of the world, right? 80 golf courses. At one time, there was 120. So I came here initially because I got divorced, and I couldn't afford. I lost my house at Hilton Head, and it was easier financially because I always liked. It's funny, you have a certain lifestyle you like to live, and I've never wanted to go down. So I could afford it. I didn't want. I was retired now, so I have an income of investments. That's it. So I got to survive.
Goodness.
Oh. And I said, could I bring my entertainment skills to here and use it as a way to make a few bucks, but enjoy the back end of my life? And that's when I found out the entertainment business down here is not a business. It's people jamming for 4 hours and becoming human jukeboxes to the bar crowd.
So, what are we going to do to change that, Joe?
Education.
I like that.
But
Yeah.
you and I and Siri Entertainment are getting ready to make a major change, hopefully, correct?
Well, yes.
We are working
Again-
together to get that started.
Again, I'm a foreigner to this area, and
I'm teaching him how to be a Southerner,
yeah,
a Yankee
well,
Southerner.
Well, I could try.
You can try.
I could try.
I'm right behind you, Joe.
Joe doesn't know this, though, but he had mentioned one time, just got cut that off a minute. He said, "Are you really a barber?" Because Biker Babe Barber. And I was like, "Yes, I am actually really a barber, too." He goes, "I am, too. 4 generations of barber." So he told me where his barber shop was, and I'm like, I've been in that shop because my daughter was a Broadway dancer, and I'm like, I actually went in and looked at all the shops. It was like every couple of doors is another barber shop and another barber shop and another one, and they all wear different like smocks, different colors.
Yeah.
Like this one, I'll be blue, I'll be green, I'll be red, or whatever. And I'm sure I went to his. So it was kind of funny that there was a connection before there was a real connection.
That's God's way.
Yeah.
That's God's
and it
way.
led us back to
They
each
put
other.
people in your
In your life.
sphere,
Mm-hmm.
and I know nobody at that point. And somehow, one thing leads to another. It's
That's
Biker Babe Barber, Nick Sierra, and I bring something different simply because they are entrenched and know the scene here. And in some cases, somebody would tell me, "You're out of your mind. You're never going to change these people."
But even if we can't change them, we can take it. We can take our acts elsewhere too,
Sure.
because we're a power head. That's why we're looking at this.
Yeah.
He's got his ways. I have my ways. Nick has his ways, and we're throwing our ideas together. Which brings up the August 15th that I want you to tell the audience about.
Yes, on August 15th, going back to why I did the original show in New York at the Cutting Room, it was a benefit. So I figured the first best way is to talk someone with my Yankee talk into giving me their nightclub. So I got a hold of the gentleman that works with and hands out the business at Visions Music Lounge. And it's off Joe White Boulevard. And I asked him if I could put on a benefit. And he said, what is it a benefit for? I said, it's a benefit for my sister's house, which is a charity that handles and takes care of domestic abuse victims, women.
Which is what I'm a part of with domestic violence. Anybody that knows me, I do North Carolina and South Carolina domestic violence advocate work.
Yeah, well, and it's a great, everyone has their own experiences as to why that touches them more than someone else's charity. So I called them on the phone. I got someone there. I said, I'd like to do a charity for you. And the woman on the phone said, great, like whatever you do, whatever it is, it's more than they were going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So now the next thing is, okay, but I got to put on a show.
But we had a meeting. It was a good meeting, though.
I got to put on a show. I got to get artists. So I ask
Baker Bay Barber.
Nick, and I say, who do you know that'll donate their time? What can we offer them? We're going to offer them exposure to the other people's audience. We have the show going on August 15th from 8 p.m. till 2 or more in the morning.
Wow.
So because you got 6 acts that are going to be on that show. Now, needless to say, back to Julia Skiba and the Hit Squad, they are the premier act for me, so they get a specific time slot that I think will be best for them. But we're bringing the Downbeat Band, we're bringing Ambush, we're bringing Incognito, the cover band, we're bringing
$4
Buck Shotgun, and we have a special gentleman coming in who is on his own. He's a young man, CCU graduate, and he's a singer-songwriter, and he is different. And Cooper Dillon is his name, and he is something special. And he'll attract them. Each of these people attract a slightly different crowd. The Motown style band, Downbeat, that's they're doing soul music, and then we have Southern rock. Then you got Southern country rock. Then you got
country
rock, just rock,
Yep.
and then you got pop, and so it appeals to everybody. And that's what we're hoping to do.
It's $10 at the door, by the way, guys. That's a donation for the Sisters Hope.
Yes, yeah, it's $10 to get in there. Nobody's getting in for free, but we will also, as an incentive to people to put more money into the charity, we're going to run a 50-50. And we are also, and I'm proud to say, got a lot of local sponsors involved who have donated dinner, $50 gift certificates for dinner, and one is the Angelo's Steak Pasta Pizza. Another is Johnny D's Waffles. So we tried to mix it up with different people. And we had Gino's Pizzeria. He has 3 locations, and he's donating pizza for the bands. They're getting fed. And now we just got another today. Duck's Donuts will be donating donuts.
Donuts and pizza. What a great combination there.
Well, you
better lose 5 to gain 10.
But I have learned, Myrtle Beach is a giving community for the most part. But in regards to what is this entity, the 3 amigos of sort, each of them bring their own style of what they got, the people they know, and we work in different ways, but we work together.
Mm-hmm.
So the full boat idea is to educate some of these people that haven't ever done it. But we do have a lot of people from the north that are used to paying to go to a club.
I have a question for you, Joe.
Sure.
Internet radio. That's who we are.
Right.
Internet radio. We have a show that you're on right now. It's called the Artist Spotlight Show.
Mhm.
Our show is geared towards professionals just like you. Also, it's geared towards artists. And we're going to take the show on the road, and we're going to uncover, the lost and upcoming aspiring artists, as well as promote events just like yourself.
Right.
Here's my question to you.
Sure.
What is your thoughts about internet radio, where it was back in the day to where it is right now? I mean, if you look at iHeartRadio, if you look at, Sirius XM, a lot of those big boys now are having massive layoffs because of internet radio. It's
Right.
here right now.
Right.
What do you think?
Look, everything old is new again in a certain way. Internet radio is sort of like, if you are old enough, like I am, to remember when people were swapping files for music. And that outfit had a name. I can't remember the name right now. That's how old I am. But at the end of the day, people were getting music for free and downloading it. And then they put a stop to it.
Right.
Okay? Not that you can't, and young people know how to do it. They do it all day long. If you have a song on YouTube, they can download it, MP4 it, and steal it, just like that. There's so many pirate things going on. But I see internet radio, like a show like this, when they build their audience, to be a thorn in the side, because everybody's doing something different than the guys that were doing it the way they've been doing it. So you get now major artists. A comic like Sebastian Maniscalco has a podcast. Okay? Joe Rogan, he was the original host of Fear Factor, has a podcast. All of these guys have gone into the podcast business. So what is a podcast? Well, that's the next generation of them having a network television show.
Yeah.
So, and people, but this is the biggest thing that, again, from my own personal history, I always ask, and it's something you got to think about. I've been told, like, who's the greatest artist you ever saw live? Live. And for me, I said, and I give them all of it. Bobby Darin at the Copacabana, live. That's the best show in a small venue I ever saw. Michael Jackson, Madison Square Garden, Thriller Tour, greatest show on earth, seemed to me.
Oh, I wish I'd seen that one.
Yeah. Now, I saw Paul McCartney. I did not see the Beatles at Shea Stadium. These are the acts that I grew up with. But then again, there was only 3 major television stations: CBS, NBC, ABC. Fox hadn't come yet. So everything is, my biggest one was Elvis. I saw him live. And it was the only time he ever was in anywhere near my presence, if you will. But the people today have so many different things. It's going to be very hard to find the next artist that is known worldwide by everybody, even if they don't like it. Taylor Swift may be the last of it. But why? She built her audience through social media.
And Travis Kelce. Let's not leave out Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, she didn't start out as the greatest singer in the world. They taught her how to sing. But there's always an evolution. In the 1950s, you had Connie Francis. Then after Connie Francis, you had Cher in the 60s, 70s. Then you had Madonna. Then you had Lady Gaga. And now you have Taylor Swift. It's an evolution. But when Michael Jackson performed on Motown 25, That audience was multi-millions. You won't see that again. Young people don't watch regular television. They do not listen to terrestrial radio.
Exactly.
They want to hear what they want to hear and to the distraction. But that's a problem. I see that as a problem. So, back to your question about what are we going to do in Myrtle Beach, it's different. We're going to show people there is more than vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. There are other flavors.
Yes, we are.
There are other flavors.
My co-host is on board, Joe.
Right. Well, to close it out, what would you like to say to the audience that would help them find us, find you, and find Julia and the Hit Squad?
Okay, well, for my personal, I'm on all social networks, so obviously Facebook is the best place at joemagnetico.com, joemagnetico.com, or search in the bar of my website, joemagnetico.com. I'm just selling my name all day long,
Or you can reach out to Biker Bay Barber and Company, and I'll get you in touch.
or
with
this
Joe.
radio station. So
Or either one.
Yeah, we're going to soon be a part of the family, Joe.
We so thank you for coming in
Thank
today.
you,
Joe.
I
Thank you.
appreciate
It's so
it.
nice
you.
to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you as well.
Thank you for sharing the memories, and
Yes,
that's what
those
we
are
love the
pretty
most
cool.
about our
Yeah.
show.
At the end
We have
of the day-
amazing people just like yourself come in. So
We're
thank
going to
you.
bring you back on.
Yeah,
here
Joe, can we bring you
another
back for
time,
part two?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Well, let me tell you.
We'll do it after the show.
I
in August.
mentioned prior to coming in, I went and did a half-hour television show in New York. That was my spot, half hour. That turned into a 2 hour documentary because I got into, we'll tease them, and I mentioned that I happened to be the godson of a famous person. And they go, who? I said, Mr. Tony Bennett. And there's a whole story there.
Yep, and we're gonna hear that story when we bring you back in here for sure. There's a whole lot more about Joe that we definitely want to bring up, but we had a smaller slot for today to get everybody in. But we're definitely gonna get more.
One plug. We're doing a show August 15th at Visions Lounge.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Don Emery and his staff at Visions Lounge. It is the charity for my sister's house. If you like music, somebody's performing your kind of music.
5 bands.
$10 at the door donation. We'd love to have you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Music Dreams USA Radio. What an amazing interview we just had with Joe. I mean, what a great guy. And, he talked about his musical career and just all the memories he shared with us. So special thank you for doing that. Again, our show is being brought to you by Music Dreams USA Radio Worldwide and Biker Bay Barber and Company and Table and Mic Production Studios up in Asheville, North Carolina. Speaking of that, season number 1 is done and it's in the books and it's in post-production right now. In a matter of a few weeks here, we're going to have season number 1. It's going to be in a reel. We're going to be sharing it all over the place. And season number 2, it's coming right here to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's right. Season number 2 is going to be right here in Myrtle Beach. And again, thank you so much for watching. We got some more live interviews. We got, I think, 2 more, don't we, Karen?
I don't have any more.
I got 2 more.
He has more.
We got 2 more. And again, special thank you for watching. We're live. And we'll see you again soon here on the Artist Spotlight Show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon on Music